What is going on, everybody? Today, we have the next big thing. We are always talking about residual income, and we have something that I think you want to hear. Imagine having videos work for you 24/7, income coming in day, night, asleep, or awake. Guys, we have the next big thing, and we have a very special person with us. I'm Jordan.
I'm Presley.
And we have one of the biggest things on TikTok, Mr. Randy Hedge in the house again. What is going on?
Well, first, let's set proper expectations, guys. There are people who make more in a day than I make in a month on TikTok right now, okay? But for an old redneck in a cowboy hat, as my granddaddy used to say, we in tall cotton.
Oh.
It's easy picking. This TikTok deal, I'm telling you, you need to get you some. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, let me throw this in on that since he's downplaying himself. Guys, this guy may not look like much, but he is big stuff. I'm telling you, the guy's made millions of dollars, and he is rocking the TikTok world, and we are blessed and highly favored to have this guy with us today.
And I'll say this. He has made so much money on TikTok that you and I are going all in on it.
Oh, I told him from the very beginning he had the right thing going on.
We're probably the most supportive people he knows.
Yeah, I told him that this is the way to go.
Stick with it.
Yeah,
You'll get
it's
there.
going to pay off.
No.
I mean,
Maybe put a little more time into it.
I don't know I can be part of this.
Okay. I got to back up. And what your dad say that there's never a wrong time to say the right thing, or the what was
Do the
that?
right
It's
thing.
never wrong to do the right thing.
Okay, I'm gonna fix this. I was not real supportive. I may have been his best friend, but I was not real supportive. Okay, so that's why we were having such a good laugh about that. I thought he was nutso, wasting his time, but he kind of proved me wrong. I kept up with him, obviously, and I told him the other day, I'm not just drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm in there in the kitchen with him helping make Kool-Aid. So here we go.
Definitely, guys. And I think today, our goal of this episode, guys, is to kind of take you start to finish, how you can get on TikTok, gain a following, set up TikTok Shop, start making money. Randy has gone steps further than that in creating a course called Grit and Grace that he sells that you can be an affiliate of. You know, there's so many avenues, and we've learned that there's so many different avenues to make money. Being a creator on TikTok and being in Marketplace, but also doing lives and other things. I mean, there's so many different avenues we can go on this. Just kind of give a little bit of backstory because you're self-taught on this. Kind of how you got going, what your story is. I'm going to kick it over to Presley now, who has politely put up his hand.
You didn't tell people what episode this is. You got so excited.
I think I did.
No.
This is episode 34.
I actually think he started with
Yeah.
You think
it
so?
was different. It was different because
it's not the way he normally does it.
All right,
our most famous guest on the channel
all right, I will admit
gave
defeat,
me a new intro.
But I'm going to go watch it again. We'll watch it again here in a minute.
Roll the
but-
tape.
Somebody throw the reflag.
We need the red flag.
Yeah.
So give a little background how you got going, what inspired you to get going, what you saw in it that we didn't see at first, but see now.
I would love to say that it was a road to Damascus revelation, right? That I knew exactly. I didn't have a clue. I started TikTok on a whim. Some old man in a cowboy hat talking, and to be honest, the ideal of monetizing TikTok was the furthest thing from my mind.
Yeah.
It really was. For those of y'all that follow, you know that Presley and I are in direct sales. We've done very well with that. And so when COVID hit, obviously we couldn't travel. We couldn't do home meetings. We couldn't do hotel meetings and big conventions. And so we had to adapt. And the first thing we found was Zoom. But I live in a very small town. And everybody there knows what I do. They've known it for years. If I've talked to them once, I've talked to them 10 times. It ain't like I got a huge market there. So I thought, well, I guess maybe social media, and because of that speaking deal, they told me I had to create some social media. So I got Instagram and YouTube and Facebook, and I thought, well, I'll try this TikTok deal, and it kind of just took off, right? The stories resonated. People liked them. The struggle has been to learn how to monetize, how to take that growth. And look, let me be very clear. I don't have a huge following. I mean, I got a little over 250,000, which in the TikTok world is not that big. I mean, honestly, there are people with millions.
Then we don't even rank, Jordan. I mean, we don't even rank. I mean,
But I will tell you this, and you need to write this one down. This is the first lesson of this podcast number
34.
34.
As stated in the intro.
Being TikTok famous is like being rich in Monopoly. The fame means nothing, right? Yeah, you get eyeballs and people see you. I've come to believe with every fiber of me that you have to be monetizing social media. You have to have an online business. If you don't, you're antiquated. Look, we used to call people illiterate who could not read nor write, right? You couldn't read or write, you're illiterate. If you are not on social media, promoting, building, monetizing, you're the new illiterate. I don't care if you've got a brick and mortar store, you sell tires and donuts, you need an online presence. Anything going forward with each generation, it becomes more and more important to have that. Now, I believed that for a long time. I got to have something I can do online. How can I sell? What can I sell online? TikTok gives average people, just average old Joes in a cowboy hat, a way to grow and to monetize. And there's so many ways, as you said, there's so many ways to make money on TikTok. Once you hit 10,000 followers, you can apply to what they call the Creator Fund. And all that means is now certain videos of yours that qualify, and they've got their rules. TikTok has plenty of rules. But the videos that qualify, they pay you per 1,000 views. And it'll vary. I've made as little as 68 cents per 1,000 views, and I've made as high as $1.20. Now, if you want to ask me why, I can't tell you. I don't know how TikTok assigns that.
Wait a minute. You're supposed to be our expert.
Yeah, well, I'm far from it. But I've had months I've made as much as $8,000 on just views. I mean, all I did was put up some videos. They got a little bit of traction, and TikTok paid me for people watching them. Now, I've also had months where I've made $220. So that's not a real good business model, right? There's no stability. But
and guys, let me chime in there. That is just for views. That is not TikTok Shop. That is not lives. No. That is not the subscriptions on there. That is just one of the ways of making money.
Yeah. And that's the first thing most people think about, right? If you're an influencer, you're getting paid for views. And there are people who make really good money doing that. Another way is you can monetize your lives. You see these people who are, they're always after the gifts, the coins. They're battling, as y'all know, y'all have phenomenal lives where people give you gifts and that turns into money. They subscribe to your channel and that turns into money. My first venture in was to recruit for the direct selling. And that actually went well, and I still tell people, hey, look, if you're interested in where I make my real money, if you want to know where the big check comes from, reach out to me. But what happened was I started seeing these people who were selling courses and tutorials, and I'm like, digital marketing, that makes sense. I got a couple things I can teach some people, especially how not to do something. I'm a perfect example of how to do something wrong, maybe. So got into that. And that's made me well over 6 figures, So it just kept progressing. And then about a year and a half ago, TikTok launched what they call TikTok Shop for creators. Now, it's confusing to a lot of people because they both have the term creator in it, right? So 10,000 followers, you get paid for your views. That's called the Creator Fund. TikTok Shop for creators means we're creators. We make videos. We can actually represent other people's services, their products, and get paid for advertising. It's just affiliate marketing. So they'll send me a free sample, tennis shoes, a shirt. Guys, with this shirt company, I probably made $28,000 just off selling their shirts. And when I say selling them, all I do is make a video and say the link's below, buy it. I don't have to ship it. I have no inventory, no collections, no deliveries, no customer service. I have no employees, no employers. It's really the perfect business from that standpoint. It's online. You don't have any. If you've got a phone and a TikTok account, you can do this. That's a fact. Everything else is just meeting criteria. Everything is just getting the number of followers. Now,
Okay, on that point, real quick, because I can tell now people are thinking, okay, how do I get 10,000 followers? So when you were starting off, how did you build up that following?
how do you catch fish?
Keep baiting the hook.
Who's going to catch more fish, the guy with one hook or the guy with 10 hooks?
Yep, 10 hooks.
10 hooks.
You make videos. Guys, day one, you start making content. You start making videos. And people are like, well, I don't know what to talk about. Well, I didn't either. But your journey will tell you. I put out a video about my business. I put out a video about my daddy. I put out a video about my grandson. Well, whichever one got the most views, maybe I ought to make more of that. And so it's just a natural progression. No one knows what their niche is. No one knows what their area of expertise, but your followers will tell you. And so you just grow. So here's my deal. It's real simple. If you want your first goal is to get to 1,000 followers. TikTok says when you get to 1,000 followers, you can start going live. Now, there are people being accepted for lives at 500-600 followers now. So TikTok makes exceptions. They send invitations. And what I've come to learn, they have a set number, yes. But what they're really looking at, what they really want, there's only one word that matters on TikTok. Now, this is Randy's teaching, okay? But I believe this fully. Engagement. Are you answering DMs? Are you getting DMs? Are you sharing, liking, following? Are you viewing? Are you posting content? They want to see you interacting. They want that engagement with other followers. And the more you engage, even though you might have a smaller following, they see that you're watching lives and you're commenting on lives and you're following these people and then you're resharing or stitching. So that engagement algorithm kicks in and they say, hey, you can go live. The moment you can go live, as scary as it is, start going live. My analogy, if TikTok was your business, let's call it a fire, your videos are the wood and your lives are the gasoline. Now, you'll never have a fire without videos. You got to have videos. That is the basics of your business. And the reason it's important is because they stack on top of each other. They scale, right? One video on top of another, on top of another. I've got videos that have been out there for over a year and a half and are just now blowing up. I believe TikTok is going back looking for old content while they're trying to tweak the algorithm, while they're trying to change things. And the one thing I promise you, TikTok changes constantly. before this episode gets aired, it might be that you can go live with 300 people. I mean, they're constantly adapting, changing, pivoting. And I like that they're that big a company and they're so adaptive. You know, prime example. To be a TikTok Shop creator, which is what I was talking about, selling other people's products, longest time you had to have 5,000 followers. A couple months back, they announced you can do this with only 1,000 followers. Within a week, they had reversed decision, said, nope, it's 5,000. We made a mistake, that we opened the gate too big. So they're just constantly moving. So what I'm sharing with you might be dated as far as numbers, but conceptually, I feel like I'm spot on. The big misconception is this, though. To make money on TikTok Shop, selling other people's products, you have to have a big following. You know, I assume people that had millions of followers made the big bucks. Nothing could be further from the truth. The number of followers has nothing to do with it. And I show my students all the time, the people that watch my lives, I show them, look, I sold 12,000 products. I had 5,300 buyers buy those 12,000 products, which is pretty good metric, right? That means you're making about 2 sales per customer. That's important. But what's more important, out of those 5,300 buyers for that particular month, over 5,000 of them were non-followers. Your following does not matter on sales videos. Now, if you're trying to sell your own course, or if you're, promoting, or you want brand deals or something, then yeah, they look at your engagement and the number of followers. But to be a TikTok Shop creator, all you got to do is get qualified. Whatever you got to do to grind out to 5,000 followers. And then you just apply for free samples, and they'll ship you the sample. The only rule is you got to post a video about it in 14 days. If you don't, you get a violation. And as y'all have learned, those TikTok...
What's a violation, Randy? You could go over what a
Never heard of
violation.
those.
Yeah. It's, and I actually took the time to sit down and try to read some TikTok guidelines and what's violent.
They're very vague.
It's very vague. And half of my violations, this is no joke, I couldn't even make sense of how it applied, right?
Correct.
It didn't even, it wasn't A and A minus. No, it was A and G. They weren't even close to what they were, So, yeah, look, every business has issues. The TikTok issue is putting up with the algorithm and the changing landscape and the rules, and another one you're going to have to deal with is the haters, the trolls.
They are terrible.
It's sad.
And we talked earlier, it's funny because the morning times, obviously, both of y'all are pretty much 6 to 8 Central Time. I think you go to 9 sometimes, and you also go long sometimes. But they're in there because I moderate a lot of his. They're in there, but they're not as common. And then, boy, when you do them at night, they have woke up. They have come out of their dark, angry holes, and they are out for vengeance. And I mean, it is like, if he does one in the afternoon, I've got to be on there because I've got to be, blocking people and muting people and all that because they are out and they are not nice.
And I don't understand what value they get out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know them. They don't know me. Why do they have, I've been called Woody, a wannabe John Dutton, a soft-handed John Wayne, several things that I won't repeat on the podcast. My favorite, though, this one just happened today, Yosemite Sam, I like that one. But my favorite is this guy called me Wilford Brimley. And I knew the name, but I couldn't place it. And I had to think about it. And then it dawned on me. It's that old man. Remember the old cowboy?
Oh, yeah.
Used to sell Quaker oats?
Yeah.
I'm Wilford Brimley, the oatmeal selling cowboy.
Well, here's the one that gets me.
Woody's funny.
Oh, I love Woody. they'll come on mine and go, "You're just scamming people." Well, we're gonna monetize, but so far I've been giving people my book, paying shipping and everything. Doesn't cost them a penny, and they go, "You're scamming people." How? It's like they don't even pay attention. They just jump on there and say ugly things.
Now, I will tell you this: if I was younger, if I still had that big fire, I would look at being a TikTok Shop seller, having the actual product, right? Getting it from China, from a wholesaler, distributor, manufacturer, and putting up with the shipping and the headaches and all. But those people are making bank. But it is a massive undertaking because you think there's violations being a creator. On the seller side, TikTok only has so much wiggle room. If you don't ship it in so many days, if you don't answer the email in so many days, it's hours on the email. You are running the gauntlet to be able to do it. But if you can figure out how to stay in there and run that gauntlet, matter of fact, TikTok just announced free shipping. They're going to start offering free shipping. Now, it's a collaboration between the actual seller and them. TikTok's going to pay some, the seller's going to pay some. But that's been one of the biggest hits on TikTok, So I can get free shipping with Amazon, or I can, the shipping's more than the shirt, And sometimes that's true. So they're constantly improving, and I believe this completely. I think it's going to be bigger than Amazon, Walmart, Bitcoin, Windows. You know, Bill Gates tried doors. That didn't go nowhere. Then he came out with Windows. My point is, and look, I know you're sitting there, oh, come on. No, think about it. You go to Facebook to see what your friends and family are doing. You go to Instagram for inspiration, and you go to Amazon to shop, right? And you go to YouTube for information and how to learn to do something. There is one place you can do all that. You get your news, you can search, you can shop, you can learn stuff, and it's called TikTok. The platform is amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So I think you may agree with this. The first 1,000 followers is the toughest.
The very hardest.
The toughest. So you really have to grind getting going. So once somebody has created that first 1,000 followers, it's time to go live.
Yes.
You told us to do that. We probably didn't do it for 3 months, and now we're very doing it.
Wait. I'm sorry. I don't have headphones. It took you how long?
It's tough for you to hear without the headphones. We waited about 3 months to go live. We tried it, and we set up a live here just like thinking, okay, let's just film the podcast. And we get done, and we had like 5 people on there. And I'm like, I don't understand how I'm going to get, like, I'm not doing this for one follower at a time. I'm not understanding it. And then it's like, we quit doing that, put it down for another month or two, and then I don't know what kicked us into that first day of doing live.
I'm watching him make money.
Okay. And so then we do it, and it's, again, people are not going to understand, not going to know what to talk about. It's going to feel weird. Even to this day, it's still like, how do I sit there for 2 hours? What am I saying? But you just kind of find a way, and you feel uncomfortable at first, but then it's like you start getting there. And so I know one thing that you're so good at is interacting with, whoever's in the live with you. So go into that kind of getting going on live, the best way of attacking that, even though it's uncomfortable at first, and kind of what you need to be doing there.
It is horribly uncomfortable in the beginning, no matter who you are. Now, understand, Presley and I speak in front of thousands of people, and that's not a problem. But you put that blank screen in front of me where I can't see them. I don't know if they're smiling or frowning. And look, the comments, you don't know if it's sarcastic, if it's genuine, so it's a really weird way to communicate. But as in everything I've done in my life, when I decide to do something, I pretty well go all in. It's like, okay, I'm committed. So the night before I was going live, this is a true story, I'm scrolling TikTok trying to find some successful lives where they've got big numbers. What can I do? I come across this gentleman who is in a nasty, blood, gut-covered, blue rubber apron, and he's gutting fish. That's all he's doing. He's not talking. You can't see his face. You can't see it's like knees to chin. And there's 4,000 people in this room watching this guy gut fish. Well, I got stories. I got jokes. I got life lessons. I'm going to kill this thing, right? If you can gut fish and get 4,000 viewers, I am golden, baby. I go live the next morning, and it was probably one of the top 3 or 4 miserable experiences in my life. I mean, it was right up there with the sauna deal I did with you. Right?
That's a steam room?
A steam room. I hated it. So I almost quit.
After one time?
Yes, it was so uncomfortable.
What were you talking about?
I don't remember. I just remember that there was like 3 people in there. and okay, there's a lesson there. I had to change my mindset. I thought my live would be successful by how many people. Nope. TikTok don't care how many people are in there. TikTok cares about how much engagement. Are they commenting? Are they liking? Are they sharing? Are they gifting? Are they engaging with you? So the thing that saved me was I decided, okay, I'm gonna treat this like I'm just trying to visit with friends, meet new friends. And in my mind, I just pictured myself sitting at my kitchen table. And there's a bunch of coffee cups. Some people will walk in and they'll look at the table and keep walking. Other people walk in, get a cup, sit down for a minute, never ask a question, get up and leave. Other people sit down and we can get in a conversation, right? You have to understand, just because that number in your live says it's 300 people in there, I promise you there's more than that watching you because they're outside of the room. We've all done it, right? You scroll and you come on a live and go, what's that about? And you're trying to decide whether to join. So when you're doing your live, always keep in your mind, there's people out there trying to decide whether they want to sit at your table or not. So unfortunately, you got to be a little repetitive. You've got to allow them to know, because they're like, what is this even about?
Yeah.
Do I want to waste my time? So when I made it about a conversation, I have a little cleaning rag because it seems like my thumb always gets on the camera when I put my iPad up to go live. So I take that little cleaning cloth and I clean the camera, and I thought, I'm just going to hang it over the number. I don't even want to see how many are in here. That helped me mentally because now I'm not focused on why did 3 people leave? Why did 7 come in? What did I say? I was in my head. Instead, I started looking at who's coming in. Hey, Tom, thank you for dropping in my live. Tom says, hi. How are you doing? Tom, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. More importantly, Tom, how are you doing today? How is your day, Tom? Please, I want to know. Well, Tom answers. Where are you from, Tom? Mexico. Really? What part of Mexico? Never heard of that. So I'm engaging. I'm getting them to answer me. And, oh, look, here's Mary. She's from Mexico. And it starts to grow. And what happens is you can truly have a conversation via them texting and you just reading the comments and talking with them, just like sitting around at the table. And so what is the most important thing to any person? Their name, them. That's the most interesting subject to anyone. So just invest and try to get to know them, try to build a community. Then I progressed on to trying to give a little bit of value, right? Hey guys, I've learned if, and I would talk about one of my life lessons or something my daddy taught me or something you taught me, or, you give them little nuggets, which you're doing very well on your live. I admire the way you're handling that. And then I'm a storyteller, so I get to telling stories. And it just starts to kind of take on a life in a community. And now, for me, I have a very loyal following. I mean, you can almost set your watch by some of these people. And I get the most gracious messages. My day ain't the same if you don't go live. I just, So if you had told me I would enjoy it when I started, I would have laughed at you. I equate it to you and exercising. I hate to exercise. I've never enjoyed it. I ain't never going to enjoy it. Presley and my wife, Marcy, they both love it. I mean, they actually, if they don't exercise, they feel like they've missed something that's right. Well, that's the way my lives have become. I enjoy it. I feel like I'm doing a little bit of good. I'm helping a few people, especially now that I'm on there telling them about Tik Tok Shop, Because, look, anybody can do this. If all you do is make $100 a day profit, which I'm convinced is possible for anyone. Didn't say it was easy, but it's possible. Because all it is skills. I can teach you the skills, guaranteed to make $100 a day profit. Well, if you do that consistently for the next month, that's an extra $3,000. Hey, that's a mortgage payment. That's putting kids in private school. That's, now we're changing lives. Even just $50 a day. What would an extra $1,500 a month do in a lot of people's budget? And TikTok's not going to do anything but grow. Their numbers, I've been privileged to look at the Amazon growth, right? And you overlay TikTok's first year. So you're looking at Amazon's first year on the YL axis. We're going to say it's like this. Can you imagine what TikTok is? I mean, it's
wow.
It's two complete different ballparks, galaxies. It's unbelievable. And they still are just in the infancy, right?
Yeah.
It was just announced. Amazon just partnered with TikTok. That's official. You can go search it up and Google it. Now, how is it going to affect creators? I don't know. But I know this. Amazon's been running ads on TikTok for a long time, and it wasn't working because people see Amazon, they just scroll. People don't want ads. So if you're going to sell products, don't make an ad. Don't do a review. It has 12 kilowatts, 3 ports, and, tell a story. Tell how it helped you, how it solved this problem, how it relieved this, how stories sell, facts tell. And so by having that authenticity, think about it. If your buddy goes, man, I tried this, you got to get you some of this. You are a lot more likely to go trying it because your buddy told you about it than seeing some billboard or TV ad or professionally made Amazon ad, right? So I don't see it doing anything but growing, and I don't see it being, I unashamedly tell people my goal is $2,000 a day profit just on TikTok Shop.
Okay. So, oh boy. So lives, we've gone over how important that is. Moving on to, what do you want to talk about first? Because TikTok Shop has a lot of, ins and outs or creation of the videos for the products. Which would be better to discuss first?
Well, you're not going to be successful on TikTok without learning how to create content. Even if you're not going to do TikTok Shop for creator, if you want a following, it's about creating content. And what I've come to believe is there are certain elements that every video needs. But just having those elements aren't a guarantee of success, right?
No.
If you want a video to go viral, I know it has to have a visual hook, it has to have a verbal hook, and it has to have a captioned or text hook. Because the moment they see that video, they're trying to decide, am I interested or not? And my first videos, I didn't have titles and captions, but it's a fact. You can read and comprehend quicker than you can hear it and comprehend. I don't know why, just the way we work. So they're reading the text, they're watching what you say, and never put up a video without a caption. Depending on which survey, which scientific deal you believe, somewhere between 50 and 70% of all TikToks are watched on silent. And when I first heard that, and then I got thinking about it. Well, yeah, they're in the cubicle at work. They're at the doctor's office. They're at the kid's ball game. Yeah. So if you're not putting captions, the words you're saying are not printed on the bottom, best case scenario, you're missing 1 out of 2. So you need all those elements. People all the time, well, what time do I post? What should the length be? How many hashtags? What kind of hashtag? Guys, those are all so small. All of those little things, you add them all up, do they help? Yes. But they're minuscule to the real important thing, which is your content, what you're saying. Is there value? Because getting them to stop is part of it, but you got to keep them watching because TikTok rewards the playtime. How many people watched it to the end? How many people shared it? How many people commented? How many people liked it? So that engagement is what you're after, and that all comes back to just having good content. So the first important thing is to learn to have good content. You know how to do that? You start making bad content. and then that bad turns into good, then that good turns into great. I mean, it's a process. You are going to really, really suck at this before you have any kind of success. And that's where most people quit.
Yeah. Well, you're not doing well, and it's uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable. You're not doing well. Your best friend's telling you you're wasting your time.
Really?
Yeah. So, true story, guys.
Wouldn't be a good friend if they did that.
No.
So,
That's
no.
my best friend in the world. So, true story. I started this in January. And look, like I told you, when I go in, I go all in. I put out a lot of videos. I was working it hard. Made nothing. February, I remember the number, I made $217. So I'm 60 days in. I mean, posting, working, and I made $217. Hell, I've spent that on a Friday night I don't even remember. I mean, it just, But I believed it because it was online, because it was scalable. I mean, all the things were there.
Well, the concept was working.
Yeah. The next month was $2,000. Next month was $6,000. Next month was $9,000. Next month was $26,000. I made $26,000 in 1 month, only 6 months in, and that's when I knew. And frankly, that's when I said, "Look, I love you, man. You cannot miss this. Here's the validation, just like you did with me on network marketing, right?"
Absolutely. And by the way, one of the big sellers that month was this shirt, wasn't it?
This company, yeah, I have sold a lot of these shirts, guys. They have the flat seam technology. There's no sewn-in tag. It's printed. It's breathable. It's quick drying. It comes in multiple sizes and colors. I mean, yeah, this shirt it's done me very well.
It's a sun-blocking shirt too.
It is. They hate that. They hate, and so I say it in every video. You see, guys, engagement doesn't necessarily mean that they're in love with you. If they're throwing hate at you, if they're that's money, baby. Come on. All I need is engagement. TikTok don't know if it's a good comment or bad comment. So what I started doing is I'd say, "Hey, look at this sun-blocking shirt," and they're like, "All shirts are sun-blocking." Why, So next time, "I love my sun-blocking shirt," and then I started messing with them. Like, yeah, I'm 6'4", 240 pounds. Well, I hadn't seen 240 in years, right? And that's the next video. Yeah, I'm 6'3", 260 pounds. And so like, you need to decide how tall you are, how much, guys, any comment is good. I've got a gentleman, he's a truck driver. He's been doing this 45 days. He has made $42,000 in 45 days. His name is Todd. He's part of my discourse and my training. He is filming videos in his truck, and he carries a little lunchbox. And he had the lunchbox before he ever decided to start doing this, and he just started talking about it. And people were hating on him about the lunchbox, and the more they hated, the more views. And that video went into the millions of views. He made over $7,000 in 1 day on a little car fragrance deal. He only makes 60 cents profit per sale. You know how many of them you got to sell to make $7,000?
A bunch.
And it was all because of the haters and the engagement, not just at him, but with each other. See, your whole goal is to create engagement, and you can do that by making them happy, by making them sad, by making them angry, by making them laugh, by evoking an emotion. That's all it's about. And then when those views happen, here come the sales.
So how many followers does he have to make? He's basically making $1,000 a day. 45 days, 42,000.
He had been on a weight loss journey, and he had around 30,000 followers already, but he had laid his TikTok account down for almost a year. So he didn't have engagement. He didn't have followers. And remember what I said, all you need followers for is to get qualified in the program, which
Correct.
is 5,000. I can take any day of the week. I can take last month I made 15,000 and something. Less than 300 people who bought from me were my followers.
Which that's bizarre to me. And that's one thing I didn't understand getting into this.
Now, selling courses, doing digital marketing, selling the roadmap, which I do.
Which this is, in my opinion, where the real money could be.
It is. It definitely is. But where the real success comes is in helping other people make money.
Yeah.
So the course I developed and the one I have coming on TikTok Shop, I give a free affiliate link. And my producer, the lady that helps me on this, she's like, "Well, Randy, most people charge for people to be an affiliate, right? You pay $50, $100 to be able to sell this." And I'm like, "Why would I charge them to sell my product?"
No, because you make money when they
Exactly.
sell your product.
And she's like, "Well, are you going to give them 10%, 20, 30. I said, no, we're going to give them 51%. They get more than me. And she goes, well, nobody really does that. I go, yeah, we are. That's where I think my real future is. If I can help other people sell my product, right? They didn't have to create it. They just bought it. They liked it. It helped them. They can recommend it. They've used it. And then they turn around and they promote it and sell it on TikTok. They make $100 every sale, $150 every sale. That's where I think the huge potential is. Absolutely.
Definitely. While we're on the subject, guys, Randy basically 2 weeks ago came out with his own course. It's Grit and Grace. Let's take some time, kind of you tell what it is, let the people know.
Well, your dad and I are both big fans of a guy by the name of Jim Rohn. And Jim has said his whole career, you can have more in life by becoming more. And we subscribe to that 1,000%. That's what it is. You develop better attitudes, you learn new skills, better work ethic, better, you can have more by becoming more. So I thought my first course, I wanted it to be about building a better version of yourself, right? What are the foundational habits that I do every day that I think are important? Well, I get up and I have my prayer time. I write my gratitudes. That's probably been one of the biggest life-changing deals for me is those two things. Talking to God and talking to myself. Lord, thank you for this. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful, After that, for me, I've kind of become a new age hippie. I believe in grounding and earthing. I believe in breath work. I make myself drink a minimum of 8 glasses of water a day. So hydrating, breath, grounding, that whole deal, which you can do every bit of this for free. There's no program. I'm just telling you, this is what I do. And then I try to read or listen to something of value, something that's going to add value to my life. 10, 15 minutes, I can learn, that's going to help me grow, that it's not for fun, it's for help. Once I've done all of that in the morning, I then pick up my phone or my iPad and I look at my businesses, whatever I need to handle that day. And then during the day, I work off a to-do list and I look at my goals and I work on a positive attitude and setting goals. So Grit and Grace basically gives you a foundation of what you need to do every day to get your day started. And then it delves into the things that are going to make you more successful, whether it's becoming a better communicator, right? Learning better people skills, setting goals. We talk a lot about attitude and the importance of that positive attitude, personal development. So it walks you methodically through 30 days. And it's $197. I mean, people will spend more than that on a pair of sunglasses because they want to look good. But for something that potentially could change your life if you'll follow it. And I tell every one of my followers this, and I mean it wholeheartedly. If you buy Grit and Grace from me and you try it, you do what it says for 30 days, you follow the program, and you don't see the value, you don't think it helped you, I personally will make it right. I'll give you every penny back. I'll give you extra money if you can tell me why it didn't work. Help me be better. Help me critique it. Just write me an email, call me up and say, hey, Randy, I went through all 30 days. I did what you said. And you know what? I think it's all malarkey. Fair enough. Here's your money, right?
No.
Now, if you buy it and don't even open it or don't do it, I ain't giving you nothing back.
No.
It ain't the treadmill's fault you ain't losing weight. You got to put your rump on it. So just buying a program's not enough. Just buying a program and reading it or learning it is not enough. You've got to buy the program, learn it, and apply it.
Definitely.
Well, I'm going to jump in here and say this. Randy's Grit and Grace is as good as it gets if you're wanting to change your life. I will tell you right now, it will change your life. So I highly recommend that you get it and, like Randy said, take the steps necessary to put it into action. There's not a book out there that'll help you if you don't read it. There's not a program out there that's going to help you if you don't take part in the program. So Grit and Grace is amazing, and if you're one of those folks looking to change your life, you need to do it. By the way, these folks say, okay, I want Grit and Grace. How are they getting it?
It is in an app that you can use on TikTok called Stand Store, which is a whole nother tutorial. I didn't even know it existed, right? Had to learn about Stand Store, Linktree, all those. You simply go to randyhedge.wealthmindset. That's my TikTok. You click on my Stand Store, and there's a link there. You can purchase it right through the app. I also offer the roadmap. That's a course I didn't create. I give it all the credit. Well, a great deal of the credit for my success. It taught me so much I wouldn't have known. It's like getting a PhD in social media. And by the way, guys, y'all can get them from Presley and Jordo as well. They offer the roadmap and Grit and Grace. The one I'm really excited about, I'm about 60% through, and it's my TikTok Shop course, how to do TikTok Shop. And I tell my followers every day, look, you ain't got to spend a dime. You can do this for free. Buying a course is just going to help you get there a little quicker. You're going to miss a few of the potholes. You're not going to get those violations as much, or you're not going to, it's going to help in the process. Is it going to guarantee your success? Absolutely not. But it will, I think, speed you up. I've got a couple that they have grown from 0 followers to 5,000 in their first 63 days without hitting anything viral, without having anything blow up their lives, but they've just ground away at it. They just kept chipping away. And guys, that's all this is. It's a marathon.
Definitely.
If something goes viral, enjoy it, be happy, but don't build your business based on virality.
Well, I'll jump in here one more time. Jordan and I are where we are in our TikTok journey because of Randy's knowledge. So I cannot wait to see his course on TikTok. So you be ready for it.
Definitely. Yeah, because of Randy, in 2 months, we've basically gained 95,000 followers. That's thanks to Randy for pushing TikTok on us. So another thing, I think the last 2 parts of this, and once we're done, if you have any more talking points, make sure and throw them in. Let's go to Stand Store and the importance of a Stand Store for monetization, and then we will jump into TikTok Shop for the creator and kind of go through that because there's some details in there.
Yeah.
So the importance of a Stand Store, guys, and that's kind of where, for those of y'all that have been on our bio, there's a Stand Store link in there. That's where the roadmap is. That's where the Grit and Grace course is. That's where you can set up a call, a consultation to go over what you're doing. Presley's books are in there on ours. Randy has. You can reach Randy and set up a call with him, get Grit and Grace, roadmap, all these different things you can put in there. And it's pretty robust. You can set up a calendar where people can go in and book that consultation with you, and it can be on the calendar, send you an email. Like it does quite a bit. But go over the importance of the Stand Store and how it kind of ties everything together.
Well, there's always a big debate in the online community. Is it Stand Store? Is it Redirect? Is it Linktree? Is it this one, that one? Look, I'm not going to argue if it's a Ford, Chevy, or Dodge. I just know you need a truck, right? So what those applications are, and for me, the one I use I think is best is Stan, S-T-A-N, Stand Store. And the reason I recommend them is the first one I tried was Linktree. And this was early on, right? And when you would click on it, TikTok would pop up and say, hey, you're leaving TikTok to an unverified site or an unknown. Are you sure you want to leave? Kind of give you some scary wording. And so you were automatically losing a lot of your customers. Well, Stand Stores really was one of the first that integrated well, and TikTok wouldn't pop up a warning. But more importantly, Stand Store is like building your web page attached inside your TikTok.
No.
Now, Stand Store is designed to sell intellectual property. For example, like books, tapes, digital courses, right? The physical product is what TikTok Shop is about. So imagine if you're buying, I had a lady tell me last night, she goes, I buy my toilet paper on TikTok Shop. I'm like, why? She said, it's $7. It's Charmin for $7. At my local store, it's double that. It just blew me away because she actually started it with the comment was, well, you know, things are so much cheaper on TikTok. And I haven't really seen that. Of course, I'm not real price conscious, right? I should be, but I don't pay attention. But I thought, well, yeah, because maybe it's an off brand or it doesn't have the logo or, you know. No. So I've always justified it. But when she told me that she's saving 50% on toilet paper and ordering it through TikTok.
And it's Charmin.
My head just, do you know my mama? I didn't know.
I know your mama, yes.
I didn't know till I graduated college, got married, and came back home that all those years she was putting the Charmin, the good toilet paper, in her and Daddy's bathroom and putting that cheap, rough sandpaper stuff in mine.
You never once used their restroom and said, huh, this is different?
Not till I came back home, I guess. Not while I was at home. Of course, you didn't go into Mom and Dad's bathroom. I mean, you did, but I didn't go in there for business, all right?
Okay, back to the... So, one thing that confused me starting out is, and we haven't even posted a non-violation video yet on TikTok, what the stand store is and what the TikTok shop is. Because my assumption was like, when we first started talking about this and I go to your profile and I'm like, well, where's the link to his TikTok shop? And it's like, well, it's not there. You post it through the creator portal and through the, you know, whatever product you have and create it there. And then there's a link on it. There's not actually a place, I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, because there may be a place you can go to like see Randy's store.
You're 100% wrong. There's a place you can see Randy's store very easily.
Okay.
And it's kind of unique. It says storefront.
Okay.
Or showcase, or I mean, it's very self-explanatory.
Yeah. No, I've seen showcase.
Yeah. So there's actually several buttons.
Okay.
You know, when you're looking at the main screen,
your profile screen.
Yeah, and it has all the videos.
Right.
That has the little 3 lines.
Yep.
That's how you get there.
Your hamburger.
Your hamburger on the side, right? Not the hamburger at the top.
Okay.
Go one over from the hamburger. It looks like a little shopping bag.
Yeah.
When you click on that, you'll see everything I've sold. And it will tell you how many items I've sold.
Wow.
See, that's the neat deal.
To let you know if you're legit or not.
Yes. No one can gatekeep. You can go watch every video I did last month to see how I made that 15,000 whatever. I mean, it's just there. You see it?
Oh, I see it now. You got the Lenovo.
Do what?
You got the Lenovos? The headphones?
I just added those. They haven't shipped them to me, but I added them to my showcase.
Oh, yeah, I can definitely see your stuff in here.
And get this. If you'll click
this is mine. I need to go to yours.
If you'll click on the one.
I'm going, we have very similar taste. Like the exact same taste.
And if your customer clicks on that, they can buy it right there. They don't have to buy it from a video. Yeah. I mean, guys, we have no idea how powerful this app is going to be.
Okay. I'm in yours now.
My best friend says it's going to be real powerful.
I think it's going to be bigger than Windows.
21.3K sold. 275 products. That's moving some products.
21,000 items sold.
All right, well, I'm happy to know where I can find this now. Okay, so now we've gone through this.
I'm glad you watched this podcast, Jordan.
I am. I'm learning.
You're learning.
I think it makes it a good podcast when we're learning as well. You know, somebody's got to be getting something out of it. We're getting, at least we are. Do you have any more on that, or do you want to jump into?
Yeah, let's summarize. Stand Store is a way for you to have your offerings, books, courses, tutorials, right?
Yeah.
Stand Store is for what you want. And guys, understand the numbers I'm giving that I made 26, 15,000. That's just from selling other people's products.
Yeah.
if you put in the other monetization areas, you can double or some much triple that number.
Yeah.
So there's so many different ways to feed income into this. So I believe you need Stand Store or something like it. Now look, if all you're going to do is do TikTok Shop, then there's no reason for Stand Store. And there is a cost associated, right? It's like $30 a month after your first, 2 weeks or month. They give it to you free, and then you got to pay. TikTok Shop, you can literally do it without any expense.
Yeah.
You get free samples. You post the video, they send you more samples. The key to being successful on TikTok Shop, in my opinion, is just grinding it out. I've started giving this analogy. We've all heard the saying, just throw enough at the wall, some of it will stick. I don't even buy into that anymore. I haven't had a viral video, and I'm making, for a lot of people, life-changing kind of money. So here's my analogy. Throw it at the wall. Watch it slide down the wall and hit the floor. Throw it again. That slides down the wall and lands on top of that first one. You throw another one. It's like you can actually build it up from the floor up and cover that wall with never having anything stick. So by just sheer numbers, by just sheer work, you can't lose.
No.
For example, the month that I made, I did this for my students. They wanted to know. The month I made $15,000, I posted 93 shoppable videos. The month I made $26,000, I posted 102 shoppable videos. The month I made $9,800, which was, I'm going backwards, right? It was 70 some odd. I'd have to look get the exact number. But I tell all my students, 2 to 6 videos a day. That's your goal. Anybody can do 2 videos a day. Anybody.
Well, what's your average time to make a video?
When I started, like 2.5 hours. I'm serious. God, I'd get so aggravated. I wanted to throw that darn phone across the room. Oh, I had to go into the roadmap and type in, how do I edit? I didn't even know how to slide and cut. And that was also things y'all have already grown up learning to do on your iPhone was brand new.
We did not do that. No.
So, and then they'd tell me you need B-roll. And I'm like, what the hell's B-roll? I don't even, So, yeah, it literally, I was spending an hour, 2 hours, 2.5 hours to make one video. Now, 7 months later, and I guess that's not fair because I was making videos for us. I did TikTok Shop, right? So I've progressively got better, but learning how to add the link and how to put the hashtag and how to reach out to the company that I'm representing and letting them know I just put out your video so they can see it. And if they want to put what they call spark ads on it, which is something we probably ought to talk about. Now I can do all that anywhere from 7 to 15 minutes. And I'm talking about film it, edit it, post it.
Yeah.
What used to take you a couple of hours, you can do in just a few minutes now.
Let's say at the most 15 minutes. And Now, if I've got a video where I've got like 7 different segments that I've filmed, right? Walking into the woods, setting up the hunting blind, inside the hunting blind. Well, you have to put all those clips together and just take out the parts you want. So that could be maybe a 15, 20 minute. But never do I approach 30 minutes start to finish. But there's some tips there. I used to film one piece of content, take the phone or iPad down and start editing it, and then go get the product and attach it, right? Post it. Now set the camera back up, and I don't do that. I batch film, I batch edit. So I'll film the same product 4 or 5 times. Different shirts, different settings, different hooks, different openings, right? But what I've learned is about the 3rd time I'm talking about whatever it is, I've kind of got the gist down of the features and the benefits. And so it rolls easier. It works better. Because in the beginning, I would post the product one time and done. Next product, one, because I was thinking that, maybe this one will hit. Maybe because I thought it was all about viral. No, it's that billboard theory. First 3 times you drive by the billboard, you don't even know it's there.
No.
And then the next 5 times you might read it. You might have to go by it 20 times before you decide, I need to call that chiropractor or try that restaurant. It's the same. Your videos are building that customer confidence. It's growing. So pick brands that you trust and you want to work with. Biggest mistake I made is anybody let me pitch your stuff, I'd pitch it. Don't do that. Every company has a product score. Make sure they're a 4 or higher because it affects your score. One of my mentors in this, he asked me, he says, what's your PSS? And I'm like, you talking about prostate number? It's called a product selection score. TikTok ranks you based on the products you select and offer. And that's based on the companies you represent. So real simple, real quick. Make sure the company has a 4 or higher rating. They only go to 5.
On their PSS.
Yep. Make sure that they've got plenty in stock. Worst thing in the world is have a video hit, you're getting some sales, and they run out of stock.
Yeah.
So look at the number in stock. And all that's in your TikTok. I mean, the analytics that TikTok offers is unbelievable. And then the last thing, I use this as my market research. How many of them have been sold? If they've only sold 2 of them, maybe they ain't got such a good price or people don't like it, or right? If they sold 2,000 of these, then, okay. Now, I vary that according to the price.
No.
TikTok is still very impulsive buy, right? So $18, $15 or less, you're going to sell a lot of. If you're selling a garden trailer or a pressure sprayer and they've only sold 130 or 200, that's still very good because it's a high ticket item, right? You got to use a little common sense. Now, there are programs you can actually go look at, Calidata, I don't know how you say it,
Yeah.
but it'll show you the rankings. It'll tell you the number 1 video for every product. And yeah, it's crazy, the stuff you can learn.
So
You found that ranking, right? I mean,
no, I did.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier, all the data's there for there's nothing, everything's very transparent.
I can tell you when my viewers are on. I can tell you where they're from. I can tell you their age group. I can tell you what their top products that they're buying. All through my TikTok shop.
Can you tell if they're wearing a sunblocking shirt when they're looking?
No.
No.
I can see the people who have bought the sunblocking shirt, but I can't see the individual.
So this is all kind of tying into to TikTok Shop, and what's the best way to search for products? You're new on TikTok Shop. It's time to figure out some products, and that's kind of the stages that we've been in. What's the best way to figure out what kind of products you're going to sell?
So I know I'm beating this horse to death, but it's important. Your number 1 thing is engagement, right? So is it going to be easier for you to get engagement if you're representing a product that you actually use, believe in? So my number 1 thing for me is I couldn't do real good selling women's mascara, right? Even though I might need a push-up bra, I probably couldn't sell one. So I try to stay with things that I find I would use, I like, that would work for me. And then I try to be authentic and honest in my review of it and tell it in an engaging, interesting way that will help them see how it might solve their problem, their issue, what they're wanting, right? Hey, your grandkids are going to love this. I got this from Marshall. That's what's worked for me.
No.
Just be authentic, pick stuff that you would use. And look, I've sell fishing poles and backpacks and boots and stuff I use. And then I've had some success with stuff I never thought I would even be interested in. You've seen me my whole life. itch in my ear, right? I do that. I don't know if it's my allergies. I don't know, but I'm always, my ears itch. Well, they sell this little deal on TikTok that you fill with warm water. You hold it up to your ear, right? And it shoots the water in your ear, and it drains back out. It's got a place where it says clean water and sewage. They call it sewage. I thought, well, if it'll help my itchy ear. So I got it, and I tried it, and, man, it feels good, that warm water. But it didn't really help, and so I made a comment that, I don't know this thing really works. And the lady said, put a little hydrogen peroxide with the warm water. Oh, I very seldom have to dog scratch my ear anymore. It fixed it.
Quick question: do you ever get a product, they send it to you, and you go, ugh?
Yeah. I've probably had 4 or 5 of those. And my very first one, I'll never forget it, was some yard lights. You poke them by the sidewalk, and they're solar, and they light up. Yep. There was 8 of them. When I opened the box, 3 of them were broke, non-usable, horrible packaging. Out of the remaining 5, only 2 or 3 worked properly for the full time. Now, the others would come on, but they'd flicker and go off or flash, or, it was obvious it was a bad product. Well, you have to post a review in 14 days. You have to, or you'll get a violation. And as y'all know, violations are the death of your business. So I just said, hey, guys, look, I tried these, and I don't know, maybe I got a bad batch, but I wouldn't recommend them. I don't think you ought to buy them, and here's why. And I showed them the broke, and the company was pissed. They reached out, why didn't, well, I think this probably more like, why didn't you send, I said, look, it was what it was. If you want to send me another set, I'll give an honest review for the second set. Interesting enough, they didn't want to send a second set. So, yeah, I've only had that happen 3 or 4 times. No. Now, the neat part, I've had so much more the other way. For example, these shirts, and I'm being honest, I've yet to get one where there was a missed stitch or like 3 or 4 threads poking out that weren't trimmed properly, or it's just, I'm telling you, this company is ultra affordable. You're not sporting someone's logo advertising for them. They're comfortable, they stretch, they breathe, but they're well made to be as affordable as they are. And so I've just built brand confidence with this company. I like them. Their shorts, their shirts, and I just tell people, look, if you're name brand conscious, this ain't for you. But if you want some good quality at a good price, you might want to look at and that, I think, is what's worked for me, is just being honest.
We might get some of those and put residual earners on there.
I know. That could be our residual earners merch.
That could be.
We've been talking about.
There you go.
We've been talking about that.
So I know the shirts. You love the shirts. You talked about the ear.
Flags.
The flags.
American flags.
But my question was, what's the favorite product you've received? What's the most eye-opening product you've received? What's like the one product that has stuck out the most? Because you've got some pretty cool stuff.
Some absolutely awesome stuff. So it would have to be the supplements, which I've never been a big supplement fan. But when I started taking that nitric oxide, I could immediately feel a difference. I mean, I just better energy, better focus, but I didn't have that jittery, hyped up, like one of those energy drink things. I just felt better. And started doing a little research. Well, all it does is dilate your blood vessels. That's it. Matter of fact, there was a Nobel Prize given to the guys who came up with the nitric oxide and, how it can benefit your body naturally, because everybody's body quits producing it at some point.
Yeah.
And so that, I packed it this morning. I said, I bet Presley's got some, but I'm going to make sure I have mine. So that for me. And then even more than that was the Moringa capsules.
Moringa.
Okay. My grandmother had horrible rheumatoid arthritis to the point she lost function, right? Mama, you know how big her knuckles were, and it hurt. And for several years, I've been hurting my shoulders, my hands. Not every day, not severe enough pain. I felt like I needed to get a medication or shot, but it was definitely bothering me. Marcy brings me this bottle and says, hey, look, I watched a video. It was helping these people. You ought to try it. So before I'd even take the pill, I watched the video, and this guy was taking a shot called Symphony, which I knew because Mama had to take it. It's a pharmaceutical, and it basically doesn't cure. It just treats, covers arthritis. With his insurance company, something happened. He lost it. It shot's like $2,500. Somebody told him, try Moringa. And, I mean, his testimony almost put you in tears, right? I mean, he couldn't get dressed, couldn't get out of bed, starts taking these little capsules made from the leaf of some tree, you know, Bora Bora, where I don't know where it comes from.
It's moringa leaves.
Yeah.
That's where the name comes from.
But I don't know where the tree is.
Somebody's backyard, maybe. I don't know.
Madagascar.
I think that sounds right.
Moringa trees in Madagascar. That sounds. Anyway, so I started taking them. And I started 2 a.m, 2 p.m. And in about 4 or 5 days, it just dawned on me, I'm not waking up hurting. My hands haven't, you know, how many times you've seen me do that with my hands, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, wow. And then I ran out of them, and I had to go to just 2 a day because I was trying to stretch it out because I'm convinced it's helping me, and it was still the same. And then before my order actually came in, I was completely out. And within less than 48 hours, I was back hurting. Now, the neat deal is when I started taking them again, within 2 days, and look, I'm not going to say I'm 100% pain-free, but I'm going to say it's 99.4. I mean, it's made a huge improvement. And I tell people, everybody's metabolism is different. Everyone's blood work, you know, we got different blood types, different DNA. It's not going to work for everybody. I know that. But you know what? A prescription don't work for everybody.
Yeah.
You go to the doctor, he goes, try this. If it don't work, come back. I mean, they just keep prescribing until they find what works.
That's why they say practicing medicine, Randy.
Exactly. So, yeah.
But I'm a moringa believer, too. I started taking it because of his recommendation, and my back has felt better since I started taking it than it has in literally months.
And look, if you do some study, I mean, it's full of antioxidants, it's full of vitamins, it's all natural. So obviously the supplements would be one. If you're talking about what I've been able to sell the most of, it's been the American flag, because I'm a big patriot. I fly it in all my videos. I talk about it, you know, and that's what people don't understand. No one can see my house. No one can see my yard. The only way you can see what I'm doing is you have to come down a very private drive, right? Yep. But I still fly those flags for me. Well, they just lose their mind that, you know, why do you have to have so many flags? Because it's me, you know? Anyway, I've done very well with the flags. Clothes have done well. And then anything outdoor related, hunting, fishing, those have worked well for me.
Anything else you can throw in? I feel like that pretty much covers, you know, a high level to start to finish. I'm sure there's a couple things that we've forgotten, but
well, yeah. Look, it's a continuing process. What I will tell you is this: the only thing worse than saying, "Yeah, I heard about that, but I didn't try it," would be to say, yeah, you know, I tried that, but I quit. Yeah. I believe that. I think this has got the potential. And look, we've been very blessed. We've made a lot of money in network marketing, direct sales. God has been so good to us. Presley, I believe with all my heart this could be bigger.
Well, you'll believe me next time when I tell you that at the beginning.
I know.
You'll believe me.
That says a lot.
This podcast deal is fun.
It's just
sit here and talk to people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I just drone on, and I'm like, is he ever going to shut up? And I realize I'm talking about myself.
Well, I will say these are the 2 longest ones we've had.
Well, you're going to cut a lot of it out, though, right?
No,
0.
Oh, no, you got it. Come on.
no.
There's no real post. I just use that word because it sounds fancy.
You about making me blow all over that new purple microphone.
Oh, yeah.
Well, how about this? There's nobody that knows y'all.
Pull your
Yeah, you need
microphone
that
in
purple
there so
thing
they
you
can
always
hear
spewed
you.
on.
That's called a microphone there.
How about this? There's no one that knows y'all as well as I do.
No one.
How about I host and y'all answer the questions?
Do you want to sit in the
I
next
would- I would-
episode?
I
in
would
the
like to be in the yellow
100%. And you have to do you don't get nervous when you welcome everybody.
Oh, no.
Maybe you can come up with something.
Absolutely.
That would be awesome.
Well, we're going to do one on network marketing.
Yep,
And
that's a
then
big
if Randy wants to make the third one,
The fourth
him
one?
sitting in, or the fourth one sitting in the chair
Well,
talking to
what
us.
was the fourth one going to be?
I don't
you
know,
said four.
what were you going to do?
I forget what I was going to do.
We've done life lessons. We've done TikTok, network marketing.
And then it's going to be now.
Be Randy hosting
Yeah.
the
That's what we were
podcast.
waiting on.
Yeah. Well, man, this has been a blast. This has been a blast.
See, in my mind, we'd already quit. We were already in post-production. So it has. It's been wonderful. I've enjoyed it. And I got to tell you, I am impressed with the Residual Earner Studio. And I mean that sincerely.
We'll cut that. We'll post that everywhere. That little clip it. If you heard one thing today, people, that's it.
Randy's impressed.
Randy's
Yeah,
impressed.
it's hard to impress Randy. Jordo's got all these gadgets and lights and things. And look, guys, I'm just holding my camera up going, hey, how y'all doing? But this is first class. This is amazing.
Well,
Good job.
Again, we appreciate you coming and being here. And it was another episode 34 again.
34.
Was an awesome episode, and on to 35.
I can't wait.
Love you.
Love you. Love you.
Love you, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you.